On the hit reality TV show, Little People, Big World, Tori and Zach Roloff have captured the hearts of viewers worldwide. But behind the smiles and the happy family moments, there's a shocking story that has left many asking, why were Tori and Zach Roloff attacked by the police? Today, we're diving into a controversial incident that has shaken the Roloff family and the world of reality television. A police encounter turned violent left Tori and Zach in a state of confusion and fear. But what exactly led to this shocking confrontation? Stick with us as we uncover the untold details behind this incident, the aftermath, and the questions that remain unanswered. For those who may not be familiar with the Roloff family, Tori and Zach Roloff are stars of Little People, Big World, a reality TV series that chronicles the lives of the Roloff family, particularly parents Matt and Amy Roloff and their children. Over the years, fans have watched Tori and Zach navigate parenthood, their personal lives, and their relationship with the rest of the family. The couple's lives seemed pretty perfect. They had two beautiful children, a thriving business, and a seemingly idyllic family life in Oregon. But in recent years, Tori and Zach have faced several challenges, including conflicts with their family members and pressures of being in the public eye. However, in a twist that no one saw coming, their life took an unexpected turn when they found themselves the target of a police attack. What started as a typical day in the Roloff household soon spiraled into a situation that neither Tori nor Zach could have predicted. The incident took place on a quiet afternoon in Oregon. According to reports, Tori and Zach had been involved in a minor traffic dispute with local police officers, which escalated quickly into an aggressive confrontation. At the center of it all, a traffic stop that seemed like any other until it wasn't. It all began when Tori was reportedly driving through a neighborhood with Zach and their two children when they were pulled over by officers for what was initially a simple traffic violation. In the early stages of the stop, things seemed routine. However, things began to spiral out of control when a series of misunderstandings led to confusion between Tori, Zach, and the police officers involved. Sources close to the incident claim that Tori was cooperative at first. However, after an officer allegedly became aggressive, the situation quickly escalated. Zach, who was in the passenger seat, tried to intervene, attempting to de-escalate the tension. This is where the situation took a dangerous turn. According to eyewitnesses, the officers seemed to be on edge, and the situation rapidly became hostile. Tori and Zach were both reportedly shouted at and told to exit the vehicle. The officers at this point were reportedly demanding more than what seemed necessary for a simple traffic stop. While the Roloffs have had their share of public scrutiny, this was the first time Tori and Zach found themselves in a situation so extreme. Police aggression has been a sensitive topic across the country, and this incident only added fuel to an already blazing fire. But what exactly made this stop escalate? Some sources claim that the police officers were responding to the tension in the air. Others claim that the officers may have acted with a level of hostility disproportionate to the situation at hand. When you look at incidents like this, it's clear that communication is key. Unfortunately, police officers sometimes come into situations with preconceived notions, and that can result in overreaction, especially when the individual they're interacting with doesn't fit the typical profile they expect. And that could have been the case here. Zach and Tori are both dwarfs, and their family's visibility might have unintentionally played a role in how the situation escalated. But was that really the reason? Could there have been more to the story than what we know? To understand why Tori and Zach were targeted, we need to examine the broader context. Why would officers become aggressive toward a family that had no history of trouble with the law? Some believe it had to do with the stress officers were under during that particular time. As tensions rise across the nation, police forces are often more on edge, which can lead to misjudgments. There's also the possibility of a simple misunderstanding. a case of the police officers not fully comprehending the family's situation and thus reacting too harshly. Whenever an officer is under duress, their reaction can be dictated by instinct and training. Unfortunately, when officers feel threatened or unsure, their instinct is often to increase their level of force. Was this simply a case of overreaction on the part of the officers, or were there other underlying factors at play? We may never know for certain. After the incident, Tori and Zach were understandably shaken. In a statement released to the media, they shared their concerns about the way they had been treated. They claimed that they felt unfairly targeted and attacked without cause, and they demanded answers. "We were just trying to get home. We didn't expect to be treated like that. It was terrifying for me and for my children. We just want to know why this happened. We don't want anyone else to go through what we did." The public reaction was mixed. Some supported the Roloffs, claiming that they were victims of police brutality, while others pointed to the role of celebrity status in fueling the narrative. What's clear, though, is that Tori and Zach felt that they were unjustly treated and wanted accountability. In the aftermath, the local police department launched an internal investigation into the incident. However, no formal charges were ever brought against the officers involved, leaving many unanswered questions. Was this just a misunderstanding, or were Tori and Zach really subjected to excessive force? The incident sparked a broader conversation on social media and in the news. Supporters of Tori and Zach rallied to their side, demanding justice, while critics questioned whether the incident had been blown out of proportion. While we may never fully understand what led to the escalation, one thing is clear. The Roloffs are not the only family to face unnecessary aggression from law enforcement. This incident serves as a reminder that sometimes even the most ordinary situations can escalate, especially when tensions run high. As we close this chapter on the shocking police encounter involving Tori and Zach Roloff, we are reminded of the complexities of human interaction and the powerful role of media in shaping narratives. While we may never have all the answers, we can continue to seek accountability, transparency, and justice for all. We wish the Roloff family peace and safety as they continue their journey. As for the rest of us, it's important to stay vigilant and be aware of how we engage with one another, because sometimes a simple misunderstanding can turn into something much bigger. Today, we're diving into something shocking. The Roloff family, stars of TLC's Little People, Big World, have been known for their family drama, personal milestones, and, of course, their journey with their farm. But recently, there has been a headline that caught everyone's attention. Tori Roloff and her mother-in-law, Amy Roloff, were reportedly attacked by the police. That's right, you heard me correctly, attacked. So what happened, and why did this attack happen in the first place? We're going to break down all the details, but before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss a juicy update like this one. For those of you who followed the Roloff family's journey on Little People, Big World, you know that Tori and Amy have had their fair share of ups and downs. Amy Roloff, the matriarch of the family, has spent years in the spotlight, raising her kids on their iconic Oregon farm. Her son, Zach Roloff, and his wife, Tori, have also become fan favorites on the show. Over the years, fans have witnessed the complicated relationship between Tori and Amy. But one thing is clear, they have always found a way to put family first, no matter the challenges they face. But recently, something much more serious hit the news. We started hearing rumors that Tori and Amy were victims of a police attack. It all started with a confusing and troubling set of reports. At first, people didn't understand what was going on. Was it a case of mistaken identity, a misunderstanding, or something much deeper? Let's break it all down. To give you some context, the incident took place on the Roloff family farm, where Tori and Amy were reportedly involved in an altercation with local police officers. It all started during what seemed like an ordinary day at the farm. Tori had taken her children out for a playdate, while Amy was handling farm-related duties. But things took a turn when a call was made to the authorities. According to reports, the call was a result of a misunderstanding involving a disturbance at the Roloff farm. From the outside, it seemed like an innocent mistake, but what followed was anything but that. Authorities arrived, and tensions quickly escalated. While it's not entirely clear why things took a violent turn, sources report that a miscommunication between the Roloffs and the officers led to a physical confrontation. Now, we have to ask ourselves, why would an innocent farm day turn into a police altercation? Was there something more going on behind the scenes? We've gathered more information, so stick with me as we uncover what might have led to this attack. Reports suggest that the Roloffs weren't expecting the police at all. In fact, sources close to the family claim that they were initially confused when officers approached the property. Tori, who was with her children at the time, didn't realize the situation was escalating so quickly. But what caused things to spiral out of control? Eyewitnesses have suggested that there was a lack of clear communication between the Roloffs and the officers, with both parties growing increasingly frustrated. At one point, Tori reportedly tried to calm the situation, but tensions were too high. When Amy arrived on the scene to help, things only got worse. The officers, reportedly unaware of the Roloffs' intentions, allegedly reacted in a physical manner, something that caught everyone off guard. According to witnesses, the police officers became physically aggressive, causing Tori and Amy to defend themselves. It's still unclear whether this was a case of self-defense or if there was another reason the officers acted in such a way. After the incident, the news spread quickly, and the internet had a lot to say. Fans were outraged. Many couldn't believe that something like this could happen to the Roloff family, especially given their public image as loving and hardworking individuals. On social media, both Tori and Amy shared their perspectives on the ordeal. Tori took to Instagram, posting a message saying, "It's hard to believe what happened today, but we're so thankful that we're okay. It's been a tough day, but we're stronger than ever." Amy echoed similar sentiments, calling the incident a horrible misunderstanding and emphasizing that she and Tori were doing everything they could to protect their family. The public reaction was swift. Many fans were calling for accountability, demanding answers from the police and from those involved. Some speculated that there was more to the story than what was being shared publicly. Others were concerned about the safety of the Roloffs, questioning whether this was an isolated event or part of a bigger pattern of problems with local law enforcement. But let's dig a little deeper. Was this truly an attack, or was it just a case of overreaction on both sides? And why would a peaceful farm visit escalate into something violent? One theory is that the officers misinterpreted the Roloffs' intentions, leading to a tense situation. Some have speculated that the farm's rural location and the sudden arrival of strangers, along with possible misunderstandings about the nature of the call, could have made everyone feel uneasy. Experts have pointed out that situations like these can happen when there's a lack of clear communication between the parties involved. When people feel threatened, their responses can be more extreme. In this case, it seems that both Tori and Amy felt they were being unjustly attacked, and the police officers might have felt similarly threatened, leading to a chaotic situation. Thankfully, Tori and Amy were not seriously injured during the incident, and both women have moved forward from the shocking encounter. They've continued to focus on their families and their farm, but it's clear that this experience has had a lasting impact on them. The Roloffs have said they are still working with the authorities to understand what happened that day and ensure that something like this doesn't happen again. But for now, they're trying to keep moving forward and focus on what matters most, their family. If you're a fan of the Roloff family, especially Tori Roloff and Karen Chandler, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into an incredibly intense and shocking incident that left many of us questioning. Why would anyone attack two well-known members of the Roloff family? Stay tuned because we're going to break down what happened, who was involved, and why this attack on Tori and Karen is making waves. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. For those of you who might not be familiar with the Roloff family, let's give you a quick rundown. The Roloffs rose to fame on the hit reality show Little People, Big World. The show followed the lives of Matt and Amy Roloff, both of whom are little people, and their 4 children, including Zach Roloff. It gained a massive following over the years, showcasing the family's adventures, struggles, and day-to-day life on their sprawling farm in Oregon. But as we know, Little People, Big World wasn't just about Matt and Amy. The show also spotlighted their children, including Zach's wife, Tori Roloff, and his stepmother, Karen Chandler, who have become prominent figures in their own right. Tori, a former teacher and mom to 3 adorable kids, has often shared her life on social media with her fans. Karen, Matt's partner after his divorce from Amy, has also been in the spotlight thanks to her relationship with Matt and her involvement in the family business. But recently, Tori and Karen found themselves involved in a situation no one expected, an attack that shook the community. Let's take a closer look at the details. It all began when Tori and Karen were involved in a shocking altercation that caught the attention of the police. According to reports, the incident occurred in a public space, and things escalated very quickly. Now, what's even more alarming is that the attack was not random. This wasn't just an altercation. It was something that seemed deeply personal and directed specifically at these 2 women. Reports began to surface that both Tori and Karen had been subjected to harsh verbal abuse by an individual, and things quickly turned physical. Witnesses say that the situation went from tense to downright terrifying in just moments. Police were called to the scene, and both women were left shaken. So, why were Tori and Karen attacked? What could have driven someone to target these 2 individuals, who are both beloved by many of their fans? Here's where it gets interesting. After an investigation, it turns out that the attack wasn't a random act of violence. According to police reports, the person responsible for the attack had been harboring resentment toward the Roloff family for some time. In fact, the motive seems to have stemmed from personal grievances, and a lot of it seems connected to the complicated dynamics within the Roloff family itself. Let's break it down. Over the years, the Roloff family has had its fair share of public drama. From Matt and Amy's divorce to the tensions between Zach and his parents, there have been countless moments of friction that played out in the public eye. And as you can imagine, not everyone agrees with the way things have unfolded. Another factor that likely contributed to the situation is the relentless criticism Tori and Karen have faced online. Social media can be a double-edged sword. While it gives fans a chance to connect with their favorite stars, it also opens the door to criticism, trolling, and in some cases, much worse. Tori, especially, has faced backlash for her parenting style, her relationship with Zach, and her decision to share her family's journey publicly. Karen, on the other hand, has been attacked by fans who feel that her relationship with Matt somehow played a role in the breakdown of his marriage to Amy. Sometimes, when people see someone in the spotlight or achieving success, it brings out jealousy and resentment. The Roloff family has been in the public eye for years, and some people may have developed a deep-seated animosity toward them for reasons we may never fully understand. This could have been one of the key factors that led to the altercation. But perhaps the most shocking part of the entire incident was how personal the attack seemed. The words exchanged weren't just random insults. There was an intense focus on the family's struggles, decisions, and, in some cases, their very existence as public figures. The aftermath of the attack left both Tori and Karen shaken, as you can imagine. They took to social media to share their experiences and express their gratitude for the support they received. Tori posted a heartfelt message on Instagram, thanking her followers for their encouragement during such a difficult time. She acknowledged that while it was a traumatic experience, it also made her more aware of the dangers of fame and the impact it has on one's mental health. Karen, who is often seen as the more reserved member of the family, also addressed the incident, though in a more measured way. She thanked the police for their quick response and emphasized how important it is to stay safe, especially in such unpredictable situations. Both women have vowed to continue moving forward and focusing on their families and careers, but it's clear that this experience has affected them on a deeper level. They've both expressed concerns about the safety of their children and have taken steps to ensure their protection in the future. So, what does this incident tell us about the role of public scrutiny in the lives of celebrities? It's easy to look at people in the public eye and think we know them based on what we see on TV or social media. But the reality is often far more complex. Tori and Karen, like all public figures, are subject to intense scrutiny and criticism. What's often forgotten is that these are real people with real emotions, and they can be affected by the words and actions of others.